Now, new research from the Australia Institute shows that there is broad community support for regulating food advertising, with two-thirds of those polled supporting a ban on junk food ads during children's viewing hours. Independent MP for Mackellar, Dr Sophie Scomps, is leading the charge. She joins us now from Sydney. Dr Scomps, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
No, it's our pleasure. Thanks for joining us. So what, in your view, does that research from the Australia Institute tell us about community attitudes towards junk food advertising?
Well, it simply shows that there's a lot of support for restricting junk food advertising during children's viewing time. And that doesn't mean just TV shows that target children. It also means family shows as well. So something that they're doing in the UK, they're going to introduce it in 2024, is restricting junk food advertising before 9 p.m. on TV. But we also have to look at social media platforms as well, because children are also targeted on things like TikTok and Instagram as well.
We know obesity is a big problem in Australia for adults and children. What are the links between junk food advertising in kids' TV times, for instance, and the obesity crisis?
Look, there is evidence to show that there is a direct link between junk food advertising and, rates of obesity as well. And there's a lot of studies that have been done to show that people will eat more after being exposed to junk food advertising and increase their kilojoule intake. So it's a slow process, and we know that this is a societal problem. As we said, like two-thirds of Australian adults are overweight or obese, and so we do need a societal response to this.
It's not just the UK. You point out the UK is bringing in these tough new regulations from 2024. A number of other countries around the world, right, are acting on this.
Yes, there's around 40 countries that have already introduced regulations on junk food advertising. Countries like Chile have had regulations for 10 years, so there's a lot of evidence that's come out of Chile, Mexico, Norway, Ireland. There's a lot of countries that are acting on this. They know that it's a big problem. OK, you're talking about a private members bill next year. Have you had
initial soundings out of either the government or the opposition in terms of whether they'd support you?
Yes, there's been some initial discussions, and I would also note that during the campaign, the current government did say that they would look at supporting ways to reduce promotions of unhealthy foods. And you look at the track record as well. They've had a good track record on things like introducing taxes on alcohol and also plain food packaging for cigarettes and smoking. OK,
you're potentially facing a big fight with these fast food companies. As we know, they have very deep pockets. They're not going to give up their advertising slots lightly, one would imagine.
No, I'm sure. And in the past, that's why there has been no action to date, because it has been a big fight constantly. You've got to take on the entire industry. But these results are really positive, showing that there is a lot of support from the general population, particularly parents. We want our children to grow up healthy and strong. That's what parents want. I want to help parents be able to make the healthy choice, the easy choice. We know that pest of power is brutally effective. And we also know that if we don't act now, obesity and overweight, the issue is that it's the leading cause of so many different chronic diseases, everything through from heart disease, diabetes, cancer, dementia, so many different things. So if we don't act now, then we will have to invest far more heavily in our hospital system. It's already costing $12 billion a year to our health system, the obesity and overweight epidemic. So it is something that makes sense, because we want a healthy country, we want healthy children and healthy people, but also makes sense from an economic perspective as well.
Sophie Scomps, very keen to track how your private members bill goes next year. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsbreak.